Hello students, welcome back to the Python programming series. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the data structure stack. In our day-to-day life, we can see different stacks, piles of book or idly stand, all works under the principle of stack. Now what is stack? Stack works under the principle last in first out, LIFO. Stack is a linear list where insertion and deletion taken place only at one end. That end is called top. LIFO, last in first out. How the insertion happens in a stack. Suppose we have a stack with the three characters PYT and I want to add one more character. So for that the top need to be advanced to the next position and there you can add the letter. Now the H is the last entered character. Then if we are deleting an element, we can take the last entered element only first. That process is called popping. Insertion process is called pushing and deletion process is called the popping. So you can take this H out. Then we need to decrease the top pointer. Now let's see the implementation for that. This program implements the stack operations. Here we are using a book stack. Book stack variable is used and it is initialized with the empty list. This is a menu driven program with these options. First pushing, then second popping, third displaying all elements, fourth display top element, then fifth size of the book stack can be seen, then last is exit. In this menu driven program we are calling each functions. Functions are already written above. So we are calling these functions for the operation. First choice is 1. Then we are entering the book name and that book name is pushed to the stack using this function. OP push. Second option is popping. So if you want to pop, you can pop the book name by this function OP pop. If you want to see the entire element of this stack, display is used. Then the topmost element is print in the fourth option. Then size of the book stack is mentioned here in the choice 5. Sixth option is exit. So we are breaking out from the loop. If any other option is entered, it will show this wrong message and this loop will be continued any number of times till we press the sixth option. Now let's see the functions used for implementing the stack operation. We are implementing the stack operation using a list. So list, append and pop method is used for doing this type of operations. First function is empty. This function is used to check whether the stack is empty or not. How we can check whether a list is empty? By taking the length of it, and if the length is 0, you can say the list is empty. So our stack is empty. So we are returning the true here. If this length is not equal to 0, that means elements are there in this list. Then we are returning false. This is the isEmpty function which checks whether the stack is empty or not. Now next function, that is OP push. This OP push function is used to push an element to the stack, that is inserting an element. For insertion, we are using the append method of the list. Our list is stack and the element is element. So stack.append then element. The element will be appended to the last. Now next function, the size. To read the number of elements in the book stack, we are using this size function. The size function just takes the length of the stack and returns that. Now let's look at the top function. This top function read the most recent element, that is the element at the top. Before reading, we are checking whether the stack contains any element using the function isEmpty. If this isEmpty function is returning true, then we are displaying stack is empty. This situation is called the underflow. That means no elements there to be taken from the list. No elements are there to be taken from the stack. That situation is called the underflow. Then if that is the case, we are returning none. If that is the case, we are returning none. If this isEmpty function is returning false, that means there are elements there in the stack. So we are taking the length of the stack and the last element will be length minus 1. So we are taking this last element by stack of x minus 1. X minus 1, that means length minus 1. Then we are returning that element. Now next function, that is OP_POP. This function is to delete the topmost element from the stack. Before deleting, we need to check whether the stack is empty using the function isEmpty. If the stack is empty, then we are displaying underflow and returning none to the calling function. If the isEmpty function is not true, then we are returning that topmost element by popping the last element from the list. That can be done using this statement, stack.pop. This pop function of this list pop out the last element from the last entered element from the stack. Then the next function, display. Display is to just display the entire content of that stack. First, we are taking the length of the stack. Then we are displaying the elements one by one by traversing through the list stack. Here, because this is a stack, we are displaying from the last to the first itself, so that the display will look like a stack itself. So we are starting from the x minus 1 last index. Then the end value is minus 1. Then the stop value is minus 1. That means up to 0 it will go. Then each time we are stepping backward. So step value is minus 1. So for I in range, x minus 1 start value, stop value minus 1 and range minus 1 will read the stack in reverse order, and we are printing each element of that. That's all this program. Let's execute this program. I'm giving the first option. That means I want to insert an element to the list. War and peace. Now let's display the stack. Yes, War and peace is already entered. Again, let me insert one more element. Let's display. Yeah, both the books are entered to the stack. Now let's pop the book. See, the popped book is the story of my life. That means the latest entered book is written back. Now our stack contains only one book. Let me add one more. Now I am taking the topmost element, that is the alchemist. Try the option 5 also to see the book stack size. Now the last option 6, that is exit. This is the stack implementation program. Thanks for watching.